Hi, everyone. So as requested, I'm going to go through some demonstrations of how to start from scratch with new data and set up an RStudio project and then work on that data and apply some code that you adapt from other places in order to achieve some things. I'm going to set this up as a new GitHub repository and a new RStudio project. I'm going to go through that on screen step by step. You will be able to use my repository to get copies of everything I do, but I'm also going to suggest that you set up your own practice repository and try to replicate the steps yourself. That way you have my work as an example if you get stuck, but you'll actually be going through it yourself. So you actually do the work and get a feel for how it's done. I will provide links to the data sources. I'm going to email them to you, and they'll also be in the description for the video, so you can download the originals. And with that, I'm going to get started. So I'm already logged in to GitHub. I'm going to share my screen, and all right, you get to see me a million times again, and I'm already logged into GitHub. This is the main screen that comes up if you're logged in at just the main address. I want to create a new repository, so I'm just going to come over here to where the repositories are and click New. Repository name, I want to use something that's sort of descriptive, but I don't want it to be too long. So I'm just going to call this Spring Demonstration 2021. And I'm going to briefly put in a description just in case anybody that doesn't know me looks at this. This is a demonstration project using some conflict data. I'm setting this to public, so you'll be able to use it. You can set yours to public or private, whichever way you like. I'm going to add a README file that doesn't do a whole lot. At this point, I'm not going to add a git ignore or a license. I'm just going to leave those blank, but you can look up information on what those do. And I'm going to hit create. Everything worked right, and the repository is created. I'm going to just come up to the address bar and select everything and hit the Control X. You also have the option of using cut in order to get that. And then I'm going to open up RStudio, and I'm going to create a new project. So I'm going to the file menu, hitting new project. And when it comes up, I'm using version control and I'm using Git. And I put, the first thing I want to do is I want this to be a subdirectory of a specific place on my computer. So I come down here to the browse and I browse out to where I want it to be. And where I want it to be, I've got a directory called RStudio projects. And I am just going to put this out in the main part of that directory. I come to the repository URL area and I paste in the address from the web from GitHub, and it automatically fills in the directory name for me. You don't want to change that. And I am going to hit create project. Okay, so it's created the project for me. I can come over here. I've got the Git menu. I can hit pull and it should tell me everything's already up to date. I can do a commit. I haven't changed anything yet, so there's probably won't give me an option to really do anything. It's probably going to tell me the same thing, but I do have a git ignore that's automatically created, and then I do have the RStudio project file, so I can commit those two things. I'll just type as my commit message first commit and click commit, close that down and click push. And I can close that and close that. I'm going to come back over here to my web browser where I have GitHub still pulled up. I'm going to refresh the web browser, and that actually worked. 20 seconds ago, the RStudio project file and the git ignore file from my computer got pushed out to GitHub. So that's it. Everything was successful. That's the first part. In the next part, in the next video, I will actually start with building a very basic script and loading my first data sets. I have 3 of them, and I will eventually load them all and merge them and do some data manipulation over the next couple of videos, and then we'll start getting into some actual data operations.